What's up, everybody? Welcome in. It is Thursday's edition of Money Shots. We have me, the lovely Kelly in Vegas, and our very, very special guest, per usual, Mr. Rico Bosco. How we feeling, Kelly? You look great in green. Obviously, there's Kelly Green, but
I think it is Kelly Green. That's funny.
Kelly Green. That's what the Eagles are going to go back to supposedly this year. So yeah, you look great in that color.
Thank
I believe
you.
that's similar to Kelly Green, and it's smart.
I know we don't usually just like jump into random topics, but I do love throwback jerseys. I'll just say that. So I think I like that the Eagles are going back to Kelly Green.
I like the majority of throwback jerseys, but people hate my take that I do not like throwback helmets because of like the classic silver or like gold coloring. I just hate I hate old silver, like Lions silver helmets. I honestly hated
so you hate K-State's helmets.
Old Saints helmets. Like it's just like I they're not my thing. Like I could do a throwback jersey 100%, but a lot of people hate my take on like the not hating the classic helmets. But I think you can just do so much cooler shit with helmets than putting just like throwing like a Honda Civic gray on it and then slapping a lion on the side of it. But Rico, how we doing? Do you agree with what I'm saying, or are you a classic lover?
Classic lover, I guess. You know who that? So Kelly's dressed the green. The team that tried to go back to the throwback and screwed it up is the Jets. The Jets. Look up the Jets. Boomer. So like back in the day, like it was growing up, obviously watching them. They're around the city, New York, and they're on TV all the time. Forever, people like, oh, the Jets got to change, and they went back to the old ones from the 70s. Now I think it's time to go back to the ones from the 90s. With that Kelly Green is beautiful, like Boomer Esiason, the simple thing on the arm.
Yeah, clean. I'm with you. I like that. That's pretty clean. I'm with you. There's a lot of throwback jerseys that I really like, but it's not football season. We can't just reminisce about the past. We can't.
God, I miss football season.
Can't think about that because it is March, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to let y'all know that I've been putting out these boosted parlays, and I am getting so tired of that last leg just kicking my ass. Obviously the Texas cover last night was a little sweaty, but
man, you had Texas last night. Good job, Megan.
Ooh. And that's how you know, because I hate betting on Texas because I hate the school and I hate a lot of people that like really enjoy Texas. So like I don't like to root for them. I don't like to put my money on them because I kind of want their demise. But last night, it was just that number just was too good for me to pass up. But I do like TCU. They had so many questionables last night, though, too. But then I took Pitt, obviously, biggest trap ever. I mean, they had just been just road dogs, just absolutely crazy ATS. And then, of course, they drop it. And then the third leg was your K-State Wildcats who pulled their dick out and got it done last night. So
yeah, I'm glad you had the balls to take them. I did not. Well,
it didn't matter because Pitt didn't hit. So
I know. See, this is my beef with parlays. Like I love them, but like, okay, so long story short, I've got a parlay. It's going to be up at the Barstool Sportsbook. I'm frantically texting Jack going, hi, my video's ready. Where the fuck is it? It's going to be underneath the exclusive tab. It's just not out yet. But I want to say this. You should be betting them all straight, Megan.
No, I know.
I
usually do, but I will say that if I don't if I'm moving the line on one in the parlay or if I'm taking a money line on one, obviously if it's a 3-leg and I like a minus 250 favorite, I'm not going to bet that one straight because I just don't know that much juice. However, Texas last night, I did take Texas straight along with that because I didn't move the line at all.
All right. So I just wanted to kind of throw that PSA out there because that is what parlays are. You're going to hit 2 out of 3 and you're going to be pissed. And if you hit 2 out of 3 straight, you're making money.
Right. Were either one of you guys with me on Xavier last night? I know, Rico, we talked about it a little bit.
No, I like Xavier, though. I know
both everybody's have on them, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised you went against Bray in Bray's final home game.
Look, it was risky, and that was one of those spots where as I said, I have quite a bit of money as far as futures go because usually I don't like to play a ton of futures, especially don't like to put a ton of money on futures. But I've kind of gotten myself into a spot where I need Xavier to at least make the Final Four. And I felt like last night in my brain, I got this nutty, weird, thought process. But I'm like, if Xavier beats Providence at home, senior night. I truly think that they could go very far in the tournament. I know they don't play very much defense, but I know in my mind, I was like, that was the because I do think that Providence, obviously Creighton and Marquette, but I think Creighton's a little higher than Marquette, IMO. But are the other teams in there. But Xavier to me has been like living in my gut since the beginning of the year. And I usually have these gut plays, which got me kicked out of my husband's work league bracketology breakdown because I had picked the winner 2 years straight. And the second year I picked both finalists and I picked the winner. And they're like, she's fucking cheating, get her out of here. So I always go with the gut. Last year, Illinois was my gut. And obviously it turned out to be everybody's gut. And that was like the biggest public play ever. This year, I mean, I got Xavier 40-1. Again, I got TCU. It's kind of like my dark horses this year.
TCU is your dark horse, huh?
I mean, they're 40-1. Like like my thing is
40-1. Hasn't moved in weeks. I'm going. They're about to be a 2 seed. This is odd. I was looking at some bracketology stuff this morning, Megan. But you mentioned you were in a league, and I'll keep it pretty light because I know that I can get in trouble for this, and I don't want to upset our lovely employers that are so good to us. But I do what they call Calcutta, and that's when you go, you're by yourself or you're with a team of guys or girls, whoever, and you bid on teams. Last year, we are only saving grace. Like I would have lost a lot of money if it wasn't for St. Peter's. We paid like $1,200 for St. Peter's, something like cheap in this type of league. And so that was our only saving grace. So I'm actually working on it. And I just wrote down Xavier. This is my list of my Calcutta teams. If I can figure out how to use my camera. But there's some really good dark horses this year. TCU, like you said, Xavier, Northwestern, who else? San Diego State, Oral Roberts, Nevada.
I have Oral Roberts as my super, super duper long shot bomb. Because of that kid that's been there since the run 2 years ago. He's like 21 years old. He's an absolute beast. I think he transferred from Arkansas. I mean, I feel like that dude is just like a super duper senior at this point. The man could probably have an entire like house and mortgage and he's still balling over at Oral Roberts. But let's get into
I'll give you one real quick on Xavier though. Yeah. So the thing I look at, and Kelly's plugged them. Bart Tovik, I think you can sort better with the dates. Here's what I like about Xavier. 85th defense for the whole year. 51 since January 23rd.
They're getting better.
Why do you choose January 23rd? It's Tiffany Amber Thiessen's birthday. So I'll always pick. God. But I'm just saying, the last month, basically, give me a month and a week of the season, right? Averages itself out 6-7 weeks. Xavier's playing towards 51. I said that about Sean Miller. That's a reason why I'm holding him at 55-1. I'll also say not a lot of guys who've been to the second weekend. Your boy Tang, I think he's great. He's only been to one. He's his first year coaching. Yeah, I love Oates.
But he has been there as an assistant head coach.
But not with all the pressure on him, not with the cameras on him, not with him with the clipboard. I love Oates. 1 second weekend. Shaka. Everybody likes Shaka. 1 second weekend. Yeah. Danny Hurley, 0.
Which is why I put Marquette lower on my list.
Just saying, no, but I think now, like the old stars of guys who've been to the second weekend a million different times, that's out. You have that in Sean Miller, 3 Elite Eights. Like we've seen this. It's a business where you keep knocking on the door, they eventually let you in the party. Go look at Mark Few they can't get to the Final Four. He's been to 2 championship games. Tony Bennett, he goes and wins. Scott Drew, knocking on the door for a long time. He wins. Is Sean Miller the next guy? I don't know, but I know that recipe has been pretty good to guys who keep sitting outside the VIP. They let you right in.
Which is another reason why I loved Xavier this year. Like, I mean, Sean Miller, he's just going to go, and he's turning that. The program was never down. Not, I wouldn't say, but because he didn't need to turn it around, but he's just like amped them up and is getting them to play. They're getting them to play without Fremantle, KK, and Cam. I mean, Fremantle, I feel like he was saying end of February, beginning of March. I think they're playing it safe. I don't know if he's going to get back in or not, but I'm hoping. I mean, but again, I don't know because they've been playing so well without him that maybe throwing him back into the rotation could cause a little disgelling, if you will. But I don't know. I feel like he's a solid player that could be thrown back in there at any time, and maybe he's either the poo-poo or the stir to keep the pot going. I feel like that would be the two that I would have to, come up with if Fremantle were to get back into that lineup. Let's talk about Kelly. What futures do you have? Do you have any anyone? None?
I have 0 futures. No, that's actually a lie. I have a future on K-State at 50-1, but that was just because me and my girlfriend were like, all right, this is fun. I told her, I was like, listen, if we beat KU, we should just throw $100 on it just for fun. So it's nothing crazy. But it was just one of those types of, we're a fan of this team type bets. I've never gotten into a lot of futures bets. I think that they're an excellent way to hedge into the tourney. But I do think that usually we start to see that cream rise to the top. And I'm not taking somebody at 10-1. I'm not taking somebody at 5-1. Like I want, just like this week in golf, I gave out Colin Morikawa, even though he's probably still sitting at even through 9.
That's
I got to have like 20-1 or better. Like, let's just be honest. And I would agree that, yeah, you could sell them later or you can hedge out. It's just not really my style.
But you don't think you can go get good prices? So like Kansas at 15 in the beginning of January and Alabama at 25, which I both have.
Both of those are great.
Yeah.
But by the time everybody else catches up to, okay, all right, KU's in into season form. Alabama, even though they're not covering, they're winning games, right? It is what it is. But I think 25-1 on Bama is huge. I mean, right now you've got a nice trophy, if you will, which doesn't really exist in futures markets because they haven't won anything yet. But you're not going to get any better. I mean, you could literally put that on the internet and sell it right now. And somebody's going to say, oh, I want to hold an Alabama 25-1 ticket. Guarantee yourself money.
Roberts isn't 1,500 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it doesn't matter until you cut it down.
125.
But I think I did a pretty good job. Xavier's on the 4 line.
Yeah.
I put 3 futures in January. 2 of them are going to be 1 seeds in Kansas and Bama. The other one's going to be a 3 or 4 seed in Xavier. And I got a team who was the top 10 and could be in the 5-6 range in Creighton at 25-1 when everyone's kind of writing them off. And I got them right before they rose back up. So I like where I'm at with these 4.
So, Rico, I think you've already heard this question out of me. But, Kelly, would you think – obviously, you probably didn't – since you didn't play a future – Houston's the favorite. It's in Houston. They have the pedigree. They have exactly looks like all of the dominoes are lined up, if you will, for them to just and it all go down and then win the championship. But my thing is, if it's not Houston, would you think that it's going to be a team out of the Big 12 or the Big East?
I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be Houston. Like, fine, they've got a nice win streak since they lost at home to Temple. We saw this Alabama team pretty much handle business in Houston back in December. I'm sorry, they play in the American Athletic Conference. I need to see something more from teams out of these smaller conferences. As of right now, I think it's going to be a team out of the Big 12. I would agree that there are a couple of dark horses out there that have a potential ability to make a run either out of the ACC or the Big East. I don't think outside of Alabama and the SEC, I got a buddy who's got A&M at 150-1. They went on a nice little 7-8 game coverage streak there.
I think A&M and Arkansas are the only SEC schools that could really make a run in the tournament. No disrespect, Rico. I just think that Alabama having to get hot from 3, in the tournament, that's going to be hard to do.
Yeah, but you have to remember the committee's going to make them a 1 seed, Megan. So they got a layup at least until the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Do you know where one of the first round sites is?
Oh, yeah, Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Alabama. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to come up to MSG for the second round. We're gonna see.
Alabama. Y'all know where movie that's from?
That sounds like Forrest Gump, but I know I'm wrong.
Go back to Greenbow, Alabama. He's talking to Jenny. All right.
Okay.
Let's get into games that we've played today, because I'm very interested. Kelly, let's start with you. What's your best bet today?
I took USC +2. Sorry, David Blattman.
Of course
I know.
You did, you mother.
I know. Listen, Arizona, they are not your typical Arizona team. And I'm not saying just because they have 5 losses. They have an Achilles heel, Megan, and they turn the ball over way too much. They are allowing their opponents entirely too many points off turnovers. We saw it with Arizona State the other night. Should they have lost that game? No. Did they get daggered within the last few seconds? Sure. But it should have never been that close. They were double-digit favorites to their in-state rival. But they didn't make their free throws, and they turned the ball over too much. And you got a USC team on the flip side. They're one of the tallest teams in basketball. They have plenty of experience. And we know that they can get hot. And they're going to play some defense against Arizona. Arizona, and I know I say this a lot, might lose that Arizona State game twice. These are, 20-year-old kids, literally, as Big Cat likes to say. They're just kids. Sometimes getting up, picking yourself up, putting your pants on, and getting hyped to play USC doesn't always fit the bill after you lost.
What was the score the first time they played?
Let me look. The first time they played was 81-66, and that one was in Tempe. Now, I know USC is not a great team. They lost a couple of away games in Oregon, and I bet against them there. But that's just because that Thursday, Saturday stretch can be really difficult. Just like why I bet against UCLA the other night. They didn't win either, but they covered both, right? The opposing teams that I bet on. This is a USC team back at home on a nice 4-game win streak, covered 4 straight. I'm going to take them here. I think Arizona kind of comes out flat. USC first half might even be a better play. Last night, Auburn first half, I kind of talked to some buddies, and we decided that was a great play off Alabama, off that yet another scare. And that's what we saw from them. I mean, there are certain teams that are really, really good. But that doesn't mean that they're going to be excited about what happened recently, or they're a little distracted, if you will.
I will go ahead and say that I'm disagreeing with you wholeheartedly here. I think this is a great spot for Arizona to bounce back after losing to Arizona State. That's fucking embarrassing. You can't beat Arizona and lose to Arizona State. And as I said, I know USC has been playing better as of late. They are at home. They are on the bubble. So there's a lot to be played for here. But Arizona did, as I asked the score. They kind of dropped their dicks on them the first time around. I don't think the change of venue is going to affect that an entirely, entirely big amount. And I think this is a good spot for Arizona to figure out, hey, are we ready to fucking get it in March, or are we gonna lay down and take it? And so I went ahead and I took Arizona money line. Rico, did you play this game?
I did not. One of those things we talked about too, of a team being improving or kind of being a complete opposite in the last month. Arizona hasn't fallen completely off a cliff. 43rd defense for the year, 58th over that time period of the last month. So slipping a little bit. Maybe we see a bad stretch in the Pac-12. They get outside of 60, start to put them as a worry. Tommy Lloyd, another guy, great coach, hasn't won in the tournament. It's really, we're just in such a new wave now where the lifers, they're just not going to be on the sidelines. Just how it goes.
So you didn't take that game. Let's keep on moving. Let's see what the next big game. What's your best bet today, Rico?
I like Hawaii. I like Hawaii minus the 8. Cal State Northridge is anemic on offense. 327th offense, 311th from 3, 357 from 2. Hawaii's ranked 9th defending the 3 and 9th defending the 2. Hawaii minus the 8, even on the road. I like Hawaii to go get it done.
I'm going to go ahead and show this comment because I'm sorry. Money Shots lover, Jake Koopman. I love
Jake.
I went ahead and I took Illinois, snagged it at 4 this morning. Illinois at home. They're 14-2. And I mean, y'all don't need me to tell you what happens on the road in the Big Ten. I mean, is anyone going to be taking, in Michigan, I get it. They're in second place
I thought about taking Michigan. I'm not going to lie, but I didn't think they could win the game outright, Megan. And that's why.
Better defense. They're going to get the glass. I mean, I know Dickinson is there, but has he really been a problem this year? I haven't heard a lot of a lot of rumbling around Hunter Dickinson. Is that, am I wrong? Has he had a good season?
He's been playing well, but he's been getting a lot more headlines off the court. The ski mask, calling people this, calling people that. Yeah. So he's an attention guy.
He's got a few distractions, if you will.
The Big Ten, though, you talk about that. I looked at that today. I refreshed my phone 6 times. I'm like, it's got to be broken. Michigan is on the bubble, deep on the bubble. They're second in the Big Ten. That's why this conference is
it's
you
ridiculous.
Can't make any sense of this.
It's ridiculous.
You know who it's? Listen, They don't play any defense, but you saw it the other night. They went and waxed Indiana. They can get hot. It's lining up for Iowa to get hot again.
You like Iowa. You like Iowa.
I do, but all right, like look at the standings in the Big Ten and tell me who really scares you. Like if you aren't taking somebody with a 10-1 or 15-1 in the Big Ten just for a future on that tournament, you're crazy. Yeah. The way and everything can change because it's fucking nuts. But Iowa would get Indiana, who they swept. I know it's hard to beat a team 3 times in the quarter. And they would get Michigan in the semi, and then Purdue in the final if that holds. Now, if you even think Purdue is getting through, like the Big Ten's wide open for that tournament. Wide open.
Speaking of being hard to beat a team 3 times in a quarter, I like Arkansas State plus the 8 tonight against Troy. It's at Troy. Troy beat this team already twice this year. Only covered the spread 1 out of those 2 games. But I mean, this Arkansas State team played them recently, and they covered the 6. And my thing is, again, you see a team 3 times. I don't care. I don't want to say who you are. You could be blind and deaf, and then you probably lose still by quite a large margin. But I feel like seeing a team 3 times, especially with the last 2 games being close, this is too many points. I'm getting 8 here with this Arkansas State team who is really gritty. Has got some good wins underneath their belt. So throwing that one out there. They just beat Coastal as a 2-point dog, I think, at Coastal. So, I mean, I haven't been impressed with Coastal by any means this year, but 8 points just seems a little too many. I could absolutely get trounced here, but I felt like that's what was going to happen yesterday with Xavier. Didn't, so I'm hoping this is kind of my Xavier of the day. Xavier, Savior, kind of goes with. You hear that? Oh, y'all like that little pun there? What else we got? Kelly, you want anything else?
Yeah, I've got my parlay, Megan, and I didn't put
Give it to us. What is it?
Yeah, I didn't put USC in there, obviously, because they're not a big enough home dog. It is Wisconsin to win, to beat Purdue. This line absolutely is disgusting. Actually, all of these lines are disgusting, but that's okay. Listen, Purdue, kind of on that same train that Arizona is on, and that is maybe peaked a little too early. This team lives and dies by Zach Edey, and that's okay. They're a solid team. I think that they're a good bet looking at them ahead into March.
Says he doesn't get fouled.
No, he doesn't foul. That's true.
He doesn't commit fouls.
He doesn't commit fouls. It's intention. It's part of his game plan.
Yeah.
Purdue, I think Purdue is 5-4 in their last 9 too.
Yeah.
Like when does the rust start to?
It's a little regression to the mean, right? I'm not saying anything bad about Purdue, but they haven't.
I tweeted it last week. They're not a top 5 team. I'm sorry.
No,
if you're considering one of the teams in the Big Ten to be the top 5 in the country, you need to put down the crack pipe. I'm just going to throw that out there. That's ridiculous in my opinion. Anything else y'all want to give out today? Give out the parlay, obviously, Kelly.
So Wisconsin, SMU, Oregon State. Ugh. Yeah,
I hate your SMU pick because I do like Memphis. I didn't put it.
I know, but I just can't. I can't get out of my head that Penny Hardaway is not a good coach.
I know, just the way they play. I think they're just such a gritty team.
SMU's been really great. They've strung together 5 straight covers, 2 home wins in that stretch. The AAC has just not been good to me, Megan. I'll be honest with you. It's just one of those conferences.
Also,
not as bad as the Big East, but.
I always say AAC or ACC anytime I mean the other one. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. All right, Rico, give us the rest of your locks for the night.
Just Northern Kentucky minus the 6.5. They're very good from 3. Oakland's got a bad defense. Northern Kentucky's going to slow the game down. I also was looking at Northern Kentucky to win that Horizon League. They've been pretty good. I know it started now. They took it off the board. But I think keep your eye on Belmont to win the Missouri Valley. They were at 650 if you got it pre-flop. I said it on the show the other day with Jeff, which I never thought I would say that sentence.
I know, I was going to say that sentence.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I enjoyed it. It was good. Yeah, it was good.
Belmont beat Bradley twice. They're a bad matchup to Drake, but if you're holding 6.5 when they get to the final, Casey Alexander is one of the best coaches in that league. I think they're really good. And I don't care. It's going to be gross. You have to play Villanova to win the Big East tournament. Just something's in the air there.
I understand, and I do agree. They want to get into the tournament, and the only way there is to win that one. So
I'll tell you what, too. Like
their hair is on fucking fire.
I know they're deep on the bubble, but if you start to look at their resume, if Wisconsin doesn't win tonight, and Villanova gets hot and beats UConn Saturday, Villanova's going to have like as close of a resume with Wisconsin. Now that might not get them in, but if they win 2 more games against ranked teams in the Big East, like, I don't know, Villanova's, I think, they're not what they were, perennial championship contender, but they're not as bad as they were either. That's kind of where I'm putting going.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I mean, they're still a great ball team that seems to be gelling at the right time, which is exactly what you have to do when you're Villanova. Also, really quickly, I had to start and my phone didn't vibrate. But Arkansas State, who I gave out, hopefully y'all looked at it this morning, plus the 8. They're up 20-18 right now, so we're looking good. Hopefully this one will be. I'll sit in Carline and just watch a couple TikToks instead of my score app the entire time.
Yay, my parlay is finally live, Megan.
Your parlay is live. Everyone, hop off this once you do and go bet Kelly's parlay. It's over in the exclusives tab. The bet with KIV. Rico, anything else you want to give out? Shout out. What are you doing tonight?
No, just be locked in. It's not the best card, but I like watching these tournaments. This is when the Horizon League a couple of years ago went berserk. You can start to see buzzer beaters of places you didn't. Guys with accents on ESPN Plus. They've done 12 games for the year, and their voice is driving you nuts. But it's a very, very, very fun time. I think you can make the argument that the Thursday and Friday and Saturday of conference championship week can be better than most years or some years of the first 4 days of the tournament, for sure.
All right, before we go, super quick exercise. You have to say it, gun to your head. Who wins it all? Kelly.
Oh, come on.
No. One word. Rico.
Bowl and oats.
I'm gonna say Xavier. They've led them to
go. I want it to be like a 3 or 4 seed, like something fun. Like a team that doesn't get in all that often.
Then what is it? Give me the guns to
Miami.
your head.
There you go.
I love that. I have a flyer on Miami
old
too.
Guys. Kelly just likes old guys.
I do not like old guys at all, actually.
All right, guys. We'll see you back on Saturday morning spaces.
Yeah.
Talking a bunch of games. Hopefully we can give out a bunch of winners. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you have liked and subscribed to the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube page so that you can go back, watch this show, watch Pick Central, watch the Yak, whatever you're into, but make sure you dabble in all of it. If you need your picks, this is the show you want to come to. We love you guys. Thanks for hanging out.